Crafters, Lisa here from Fun Stuff Crafts. So glad you could join me for another Inspiration Friday. So this week I thought it would be really fun to share with you guys some of my top tips that I like to use when I'm doing projects with my Cricut. There's a couple websites in there that I like to use. There's a couple Dollar Tree items that I use as tools. So I've got all kinds of good things to show you. So I hope you really enjoy it. But hey, if this is your first time stopping by my channel, thanks so much for stopping by. Make sure you click on that subscribe button down below, and don't forget to click on the bell. YouTube should alert you each time I upload a new video. I try to do that every Friday. That's why we call it Inspiration Friday. So give me a second. We are going to get started right away on Lisa's top 10 tips or hacks or tricks to using her Cricut. Okay, so for this hack, I'm going to show you two ways I like to use my Dollar Tree chopper and scraper. Now, I have got quite a few other scrapers that I have picked up over time, and they're the Cricut ones. I've got the jumbo one, and I've got the smaller one, and then I've got this one that I picked up. But I have to tell you that I love it when I can find something that is inexpensive and it works really great. So this works really great when I'm applying my vinyl. Now I am going to be making some labels, and so I've already determined the size of vinyl that I need, and put that in there on the right way though. And so I'm just going to go ahead and put it on my mat. And one of the things I like to use this big scraper for is to really make sure my vinyl is down on my mat. It makes my cutting so much easier. So that is the first use for this one. And I'm going to show you one more after we get this cut out. Okay, so now I've got my vinyl all cut, and I've got it on my mat. And what I'm going to do is this hack or tip, I guess I would say, is make sure you always remove your vinyl this way. Pull your mat back. Let your mat do the bending, not your vinyl. I do the same thing with my paper. It's just really important. It really, especially with paper, it really helps with the tearing. Okay? So we get that pulled all the way back. And then what I have is I've got my design in front of me. Now I like to cut down my design. I didn't put just the right amount of vinyl on the paper or on the mat. And so I'm just gonna cut it away. I can see my design here, and it is really cute. It's my puppy's name with some dog bones. And then I wanna show you one more tip or hack, whichever way you want to do it. Another thing that I use my chopper for. And I like to first turn my vinyl over on the back and just really press that vinyl in, and then carefully do it on the front also. I find that this really helps with weeding. Now let's talk about some tips in weeding. Most of you guys have probably all seen the Cricut tool for weeding, which works okay. But I will tell you my absolute favorite. So next tip is my pin. It is my favorite weeding tool, and it is, I'll show you guys a close-up of it, but it basically looks like a pen, but it has got a pin right at the end of it. Now I picked this one up at 651 vinyl quite some time ago. I believe now they're called 147 vinyl. But I also saw online that you can pick this up at Amazon. So everything I'm using, I'll make sure I give you guys links. But before we start this, I also want to show you another tip on getting rid of those little tiny vinyl pieces. So I don't know about you, but when I'm weeding vinyl, sometimes when I'm pulling out little places, I've got vinyl all over, it's stuck to my hand, or it sticks back on. So that just drives me crazy. So I have always used this little container that had some wipes in it. and it's got a piece that I can put my pen in and just wipe it right off. But I saw somebody use one of these little, I call it a dressing holder from Dollar Tree. Okay, so it's just cute as can be. I've used these for quite some time with my lunches. But what we are going to do is turn it upside down. Now I've already used my Cricut knife and I've put a hole in it. Now when I say a hole, I cut just a cross in it. Okay, so what it's going to do is I'm going to be able to put my pin in as I'm weeding. So I'm going to pull out some of the inside of the B of my dog's name and see how easy that is. I just pick that up. One, my pin picks it up great, and then that just pulls it right away. So I'm going to go ahead and pull off the larger pieces of vinyl, and I'll tell you, I'm using Oracle 651, and I love how it cuts on my Cricut. And so I'm going to go ahead and get that big piece of vinyl done, and then I'll just show you a few more of using this handy little tool for being able to get all these little intricate pieces. So I'm getting that vinyl out of the way so it's not sticking on my other vinyl. And then the other thing that I thought was really great on this one is when it gets full, I just remove it and I can empty it out. Now some of the vinyl may stick in there. You may need to stick something in to get it out, but I will tell you it works just great. So I'm going to go ahead and finish weeding this, and then I'm going to show you the next hack I've got for you. Okay, so I got my Bailey all weeded, and I actually weeded one for Zoe, which is our other dog. I'm going to label both of their dog food containers. What I want to show you now is an alternative to transfer paper. Now, I've got lots of different types of transfer paper that I like, and I will tell you initially this was by far my favorite transfer paper, and then I discovered this transfer paper, and I use both of them. But there are times you get in a pinch, you've run out of transfer paper, or if you're crafting on a budget, which I like to craft on a budget too, another alternative is contact paper or shelf liner. So I picked this up at Walmart, and it is 12 inches by 3 feet of easy liner, and it's just the clear. So I'm going to show you how you can use that as transfer tape. And so we're going to go ahead and start with Zoe. I've already got my piece cut out the size that I want. So I'm going to go ahead and peel it off. And I'm going to put it on top of Zoe. Now I'm going to get my scraper tool out again, which I use all the time. And I am really going to make sure that it is on the transfer tape. Okay, and then I'm going to get under there, and I'm going to do it on the back too. And the reason why I like using this scraper is just the size of it. Now I definitely will probably use my smaller one, but this is just so nice. I'm going to go ahead and peel back, and again I like to peel from the back, that way I can tell if my design is staying on, and it is staying on beautifully. So look at that, I've got Zoe all on, it's on my shelf liner, I've got her dog food right here. Turn that up. Sorry, you guys aren't going to be able to see. Maybe I can do it reverse so you guys can see it a little bit better. Let's do it that way. I'll do it upside down. I'm going to eyeball it here. And I'm going to take my scraper again. Make sure it's on there real good. Look at that, you guys. It's peeling right away. There's a couple that are being ornery, but I think that happens with any type of transfer tape at times. So you just go slow. I always say, especially, got these little paw prints on this one. Bailey's is a little bit easier because it was just a bone. but I've got all these little paw prints on Zoe's. So this is just one more idea on an alternative to transfer tape. So I'll show you a close-up view of once we get this all on. Those little paw prints are being ornery. There we go. Zoe's all labeled now, so we'll know that it is Zoe's food. Okay, so this next hack is to do with my Cricut, and I don't know about you guys, but I store my Cricut against my wall, and whenever I need to use it, you pick it up and you move it forward, or you drag it along your countertop, however, or maybe you need to move it this way. This hack I had never thought of, and I thought this was such a great idea. I had a friend share this with me that she saw it on TikTok, and I want to show you what this person did, and I forget the name of the TikTok account, but I will make sure I credit it down below. But what she did is she added wheels to her Cricut, and so I picked up the same ones that she recommended from Amazon, and I got a package of, I don't know, let's see, the package just came, and it has got, it doesn't even have the number on it, but this was the package of it. So I've got lots of extra wheels, and what she did is to turn her Cricut upside down. Oops, I'm gonna unplug mine so it works okay. So she took her Cricut and she placed the wheels just like this. Now what she did, and I'm going to try this out with you guys, is she used command strips. So I'm going to go ahead and do it, and the thing I like about the command strips is I can easily remove these. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put some command strips. I probably could have used shorter ones, but these were the ones that I had on hand. So I'm just going to go ahead and add those to the back of my wheels. Okay, and then let's just do these ones. We're going to try this one out together, you guys. So I'm going to make sure that my tabs go on the inside. So I'm going to try to line it up. Okay, so I've got that one. Let's go ahead and put this one. Line them up close. Wheels work. We'll do the other one, and let's see how easy this changes moving your Cricut. Now Cricut recommends whenever you're using your 12 by 12 mat that you pull away from your wall at least 10 inches. That way it gives ample room for your mat to be able to go, you know, feed in and come back out. So and I just always have mine pushed back against the wall when I'm not using it, but this will be easier to move it. So I'm really anxious to try this out, so let's see how it works. Okay, so I got that. I'm going to flip my Cricut now, and oh my gosh, you guys, look at that. So the test will be when I use it to make sure it's not moving, but I will tell you, look at that. When I do my bigger mats, I always turn my Cricut sideways like this because I've got more countertop here, but look at that. I love that hack. Hope you guys enjoy it. So the next hack or tip that I want to show you is how I store my scrap vinyl. Now I will be showing you how I store my vinyl rolls, but I want to show you what I have found to work the best for storing my vinyl. And actually my son's girlfriend Michaelin came up with this idea, and it has worked out great for us. So I have a tub that I have, and what we did is we got gallon Ziploc bags, and I've got those labeled. So this is permanent vinyl colors. And so I just did a cut, and I've got some scraps here, so I'm going to put it right in, and it's with the permanent vinyl color. And I really kind of sorted it, or I should say Michelin sorted it, based on what I had a lot of scraps of, or just sorting it out. So that really was helpful. So like again I said, this is permanent vinyl. Now one thing, I'm not sure if you guys saw what I just did, is once I zip it up, just so I can get a lot in my bag, I leave the bag open just a little bit and press out all the air, and then that makes it much more compiled. So I've got permanent vinyl colors, I've got black permanent vinyl, I've got HTV gray and white, I've got white permanent vinyl, and so on. You can see I've got, this is HTV, I've got my glitter separate, I've got my black HTV separate, and I've got some silver separate. So I just like to store them in here. A few of these I could press the air out a little bit more, and it's amazing what I can keep in here. Now I will tell you, as I'm working on projects, I don't always dump them in the bag right away, but what I like is I keep this tub right below in my cupboard, and so I'll lay it on top, and then once I've got a few to put away, I'll get it out and I'll put it in the tub here. And it has made for storage of my extra vinyl so good. The other fun thing is by having it sorted this way, when I'm working on a project and I need just a smaller piece, this is the first place I go. I always go to look in my scraps to see if I can use anything in here before I use one of my big pieces of vinyl. So I hope this gives you another idea on how you can store your scrap vinyl, and it keeps it neat and tidy. Okay, so now I want to show you how I store my vinyl. So this is one of my pantry cabinets that I have in my craft room. And when I open up the lower part of it, I have installed some pull-out trays. And what I want to show you is what I did and how I made these little storage units for my vinyl. Okay, so this is a little hard to show since I've already completed it, but I did go ahead and take out one section of my vinyl so that I could show this to you. What I picked up is these are the Dollar Tree cooling racks that you get in the kitchen section. I have 7 of these put together, and what I've done is I've taken zip ties and I've zip tied them together. So I've got one on the front, one on the back, and then one on each side, and then on the bottom. And then what I did is I put in sections so I could sort out my vinyl. So now I can just go ahead and stock up all my vinyl and put it all away, and then it is just so easy to get to. I've got it sitting straight up and down. It's easy to see the different colors of vinyl that I have, and I'll tell you guys, this little unit works so well. And then I put that in combination with the pullouts that I purchased on Amazon in my cupboard. And so I can pull out and I can get all the way back in. My pantry cabinets are really deep, and so I wanted to make sure that I was able to use all the space in my cabinet. And so that's why I kept looking for different alternatives for storage bins. And I decided, you know what? It would just be easier if I made something myself. So these Dollar Tree cooling racks, just another option to use for a Dollar Tree cooling rack. So let's see if I can kind of show it to you. I've got lots of vinyl there, you guys. There is so much in here, and so I just wanted to show you another option of how I store my vinyl. Okay, for our next hack, what I want to show you is my favorite spot to go find fonts if I can't find the font I want to use in Design Space. Dafont.com is that spot. They've got so many different options for fonts that you guys can choose from, and you can see they've got fancy, foreign look, techno, gothic, basic, script, just all kinds of different ones. It's close to Valentine's Day, so let's take a peek at a cute Valentine's Day one. What about this love story? I think that's a really cute one. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and I am going to download it. Now I'm using my MacBook Pro, and so that is going to go to my download files. So I'm going to go ahead and click that open, and I end up with an OTF and a TTF file. The TTF file is the one we want. We're going to double click on that, and it's going to bring up our font, what it's going to look like, and we are going to do install font. As easy as that, you guys. Now I've got Love Story all installed on my computer. So let's hop over to Design Space, and let's start with a blank screen. Okay, and I am going to just do the word test. Okay, so let's type it right, Lisa. Let's do the word test, and let's go up and see if we can find that new font that we just loaded. And there is no Love Story. And this is the thing I really want to show you guys. One of the things that happens so often when people download their new fonts is they already have Design Space open. So I'm going to go ahead and sign out of Design Space, and then I'm going to sign back in. And you need to do this in order to have Design Space recognize your new font. Okay, so let's try this again. New project. I'm going to go to text. I'm going to type the word test. Now let's go up to the fonts, and let's type in our love and see what we can find. Look, we have now got Love Story as a font, and there we go. It's all ready to use. Make sure you check out all the legalese on using these free fonts, but I wanted to show you how to successfully download a font from Dafont.com. Okay, for this hack, I want to share with you a spot I love to go to find some really fun SVG files. As you can see, I'm already at lovesvg.com, and they offer all kinds of free SVG files. And SVG is the type of file that you want to use with your Cricut. And so I'm just going to go down here and see if I see something that I might want to use for another project. And I think this one's really cute. You Make My Heart Smile. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it, take a look at it a little bit closer up. Now you guys may need to register a free account with Love SVG. And what I'm going to do is I am going to download it. Now you can see you are going to get a SVG, a DXF, an EPS, and a PNG file. SVG is the one we want. So it's as easy as this. I'm going to click the download button. Now I'm using my MacBook Pro. I'm going to go to my download files. I'm going to find what I just downloaded, and just like it said there, I've got all 4 types of files. Now I'm going to grab that SVG is the one that I'm going to want to use. But what we're going to do now is we're going to hop over to Design Space, and I'll show you how easy it is to bring that in. I'm going to start a new project. I've got a blank slate I'm starting with. I'm going to go to upload, and I am going to upload a new image. I'm going to go ahead and browse. I'm going to go to my downloads, and there is my download that oops, that's the wrong one, Lisa. I'm going to go to and grab the right download. You Make My Heart Smile. I've got all 4 options here. I'm going to pick my SVG. And the fun thing about bringing it in from Love SVG is it has already taken care of all of the setup for you. It's also already giving you your image name. So I'm going to go ahead and just click in my save, and then I can bring this image right in to my project. Now, one thing I will caution you on is it has put all of my items or all of the cuts from it separately. Okay, so you may need to play with that when you're getting ready to use it. But I also just wanted to show you another place that you can find images if you can't find what you're looking for on Design Space. Please make sure you check out all of the legal pieces of using free SVGs, but this is just one more option for you. Thanks so much for joining me for another Inspiration Friday. I hope you enjoyed my top 10 tips, tricks, or hacks that I like to use when I am working with projects with my Cricut. As a recap, we had that Dollar Tree scraper. We learned how to peel from the back when we're removing from our mat. I showed you my favorite weeding tool, my pen. I also showed you another Dollar Tree idea on how to trap that scrap vinyl when you're taking it off of a project. There was also that alternative for transfer paper. And how did you like my Cricut on wheels? Don't forget how I store my scrap vinyl or how I use Dollar Tree cooling racks to store my vinyl. Then there was Dafont.com, my favorite resource for other fonts. And then I showed you Love SVG, another place you can find great images for your Cricut if you can't find something in Design Space. I hope you enjoyed my top 10 tips, tricks, or hacks. If you're looking for a DIY project, make sure you check out my blog at funstuffcrafts.com.